Longtime law enforcement officer Bill Weisenberger ran for judge on the platform that justice court is the people's court. Now, family members and other witnesses claim Weisenberger, in an unprovoked attack, struck a mentally challenged young man and yelled a racial epithet at him on May 8th at the Canton Flea Market. Two witnesses of the incident at the flea market, both vendors from Alabama, who were shocked at what they saw.
Um, the day we were in Canton, my booth was like right on the corner, right there on the street. The young man had been walking to different vendors asking could he help them pack up. He was right there when we saw the guy slap him twice in the back of the head. There was a young gentleman walking up the sidewalk, and the next thing I heard was a white gentleman, which was portraying himself as being a police officer, started yelling profanity to him, calling him names, slapped the boy in the back of the head, called him another name. And yes, he used the N-word. He called him a racial name. I choose not to say it because I do have family that is African American, and we do not like that word. But he did call him the N-word, slapped him on the head once, and then he did it again, which was twice. Walked over and got in behind the young gentleman and hollered, "Run, boy, run!" And as soon as the young gentleman ran, he went up to one of his fellow officers, or which was a officer, and said, "Yeah, I slapped him in the back of the head," and gave him the high five.
On Friday, William Truly, president of the Canton branch of the NAACP, held a press conference calling for Judge Weisenberger to step down from hearing cases now.
2014, Eric Rivers, an African-American 20-year-old Canton, Mississippi native with a mental and learning disability, was in attendance at the semi-annual Canton Flea Market in downtown Canton, Mississippi. There, as reported by witnesses, was allegedly slapped, kicked, and called nigger by Madison County Judge Bill Weisenberger, who at the time was moonlighting as a private security guard. The force of the assault knocked young Eric Rivers to the ground. Witnesses allege that Judge Weisenberger then placed his hand on a gun holster to his side and shouted to Eric, "Run, nigger, run." All of this was done in full view of witnesses who were attending the Canton Flea Market. Criminal charges were immediately filed by Eric and his family against Judge Weisenberger with the Canton, Mississippi Police Department. Judge Weisenberger sits as an elected Justice Court judge in Madison County, Mississippi. He routinely hears and rules on matters involving African Americans, Hispanics, and other minorities. His expressed racial prejudice, an unprovoked assault on an African American vulnerable adult, demonstrates an unfitness to serve as a judicial officer. He should immediately take leave from his office until this matter is resolved. No citizen should have to face justice before a judge who holds such a high degree of racial animus and hatred. The actions and the words that Judge Weisenberg allegedly stated on May 8, 2014 were derogatory and racist at every point of his delivery, and were clearly intended to inflict fear and pain upon Mr. Rivers, similar to the tactics used in the 1960s against African Americans seeking to become full citizens of this great state and nation.